So here's Trump sitting with the crown prince, and reporter asks him about the Epstein files because she has the opportunity to. She's there, she has a microphone, he's there. Uh, she asks. He says, "You're a terrible person. You're a terrible reporter. You have a bad attitude. If you would ask nicely, I might answer you, or I might want to answer you. But my problem is you have a bad attitude. You are not a nice person," says the nice person, the person who is always respectful and always kind. But there's something that he says in that diatribe to rather than answer the question, to attack the questioner. There is something he says that reveals his own attitude and his feeling about the chair he's sitting in and his sense of personal privilege that is very disturbing, but also very confirming. Uh, Not many weeks since the No Kings marches and rallies. That answers the question why we needed those. He says, your question was insubordinate. Now, the very word insubordinate presupposes that there is an obligation for for the state, a fourth non-governmental branch of government that is protected by the First Amendment. Now, I know it's not a branch of government, but that institution, the press, there's the implication that they should be subordinate. It raises the question, subordinate to whom? In fact, it will raise the question of the citizenry. To whom should you subordinate yourself? How unlike the attitude of Harry Truman, who said that he was being promoted by leaving the Oval Office, by transitioning from the presidency to the citizenry, because he believed that the citizenry was a higher office than the presidency. For one thing, you're a citizen your entire life. You're only president 4 years at a time with a 2-term limit. Can't be president for more than 8 years in this country. Subordinate to whom? There is no one we're subordinate to. There's no person. We might be temporarily subordinate to the police officer who works within the limits of the law to arrest us or tells us to get out of a dangerous situation, or subordinate temporarily to a commanding officer in the role of a citizen soldier. We may be subordinate to certain laws, and we are subordinate to laws. But so is the president, and so is the Congress, and to some extent, and to whatever extent, so is the court, and members of the court to all the laws. But subordinate to whom? As a member of the press. And you ask why we protest a No Kings rally. Because only someone who thinks they're a king would call a question an insubordinate question. Or someone who's illiterate, who doesn't know the meaning of the term or doesn't understand the Constitution. Insubordinate question? Go figure.